Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, irrespective of where you're joining in from. I want to extend a very warm welcome to what's new in Xanadu release for Employee Center. My name is Pooja Gupta. I am the Senior Manager of Outbound Product Management within the Unified Employee Experience Product Suite at ServiceNow. I'm joined with one of my esteemed colleagues, Smriti Gupta, who is Outbound Product Manager with the same team. Together, we will be walking you through what's new capabilities are and also showcasing some demos. But before we get started, we tend to talk roadmap and, in our Q&A panel, if we make any forward-looking statement, I just want to make sure that you are aware of our safe harbor notice. Any of these forward-looking statements are subject to change. So please use that information with that caveat in mind. Today's webinar is part of a series of webinars, what we call live on ServiceNow. Within ServiceNow, you can see like there are academy sessions, there are office hours, there are what's new webinars like today, deployment-oriented webinars, workshops, and more across different products within ServiceNow. So if you scan this QR code, you can see not just for Employee Center, but any of the other products that you own. I can guarantee you will find at least one event that is interesting for you. So please take a look at those list of events. Some housekeeping, we do have some time saved at the end for Q&A, but please use the Q&A panel. It should be a Q&A button in a black panel that should be appearing on your Zoom screen. Use the Q&A panel for your questions. The chat is not monitored for Q&A. Chat is only for your commentary. You want to say hi to each other, which we really appreciate and encourage you to do. Share your thoughts on what is being presented. Chat is the forum for it. But if you want any of the panelists on the calls to answer a question, please use the Q&A panel. The presentation is recorded and will be shared. It stays on community and also YouTube. So please don't worry about taking notes right now. Focus on listening and absorbing the material, and you will see the recording and materials available at a future time. After the event, you will be prompted for a survey. I can guarantee you that I read all the comments that I receive about the events that we host. So please do share your comments, feedback as part of that survey, and we would love to adjust future events based on that feedback. So as I mentioned, we do have a fun agenda. We will first start with Employee Center context. There may be a few of you on the call for whom Employee Center is relatively new. So we just want to make sure we are setting the context correct before we dive deep into newer capabilities and enhancements that we are making in the Employee Center space as part of the Xanadu release. And we do have some fun demos for you. So we are not just talking slides today. We will dive deep into an instance and show you what these new great capabilities actually look like out of box. So super excited to bring that for your forum as well. And that is one of the feedbacks that we had received in the post survey that we do. All right, so let's start with the context. When we are thinking about Employee Center, we're thinking about a vision where we can engage all of employees in a unified and an omni-channel experience for all of their needs. And that is what Employee Center or Employee Center Pro serves for. And you would see that this includes scalable services. So whether it is IT, HR, or any other department, you should be able to offer services and unify tasking across different systems and across different departments for the employee. Be able to use AI research and AI-powered capability to access information and get answers quickly. Be able to consume and get actionable and personalized communications is a core part of what makes this whole experience engaging and useful for an employee. It drives proactive self-service at the same time. So it It is designed so it can very well connect with multiple different systems. So it is driving system consolidation from an end user perspective. When we are thinking about our roadmap, we are thinking about the goal on how we can help organization accelerate consolidation of employee portals. What that mean is, I'm pretty sure many of you on the call today actually are on the left-hand side or started from the left-hand side of the slide today. um, you had siloed portals or you're still dealing with siloed portals, whether these are departmental service portal or just different applications that an employee has to access for information or getting things done. So we want to help organizations move away from those siloed portals to first and foremost an enterprise service delivery portal. So you should never have to go to multiple different service departments for getting a service. As an employee, I often doesn't even know whether my need is fulfilled by IT department or workplace department or HR department, and I shouldn't have to think through that. So that enterprise portal kind of solves for that. And as you get more mature, we want to help you to consolidate a lot more other systems, your intranet, your other access points, so that from an employee standpoint, they're always starting first and foremost from this one unified experience. If you have seen the portal contest that we conducted last year, you will see many examples of organizations who are on the far right side. So if you haven't seen it, we will post it on the chat shortly. Smriti, if you can just post that, you will get some examples of organizations who have gone through this journey. And as we are looking at our roadmap, we are looking into what are the gaps that are actually acting as barriers for organizations to move from left to right. And we are prioritizing capabilities for that. Another thing that we want, which is core to our vision and our strategy, is that we want to meet where employees are in terms of the, like looking at their job, looking at their preferences, to be able to access information, get services, get answers from a channel that is suitable for them or preferred by them, whether it is a mobile phone experience, a native mobile experience, it's a desk-based portal experience, it's a shared device kiosk experience, or even conversational interfaces like Teams and WhatsApp or SMS. So across this presentation today, you would see that we are talking about features that we are delivering for Employee Center, but we will also talk about features that are being delivered in an omni-channel way. So you would hear us talk about this feature is also available on mobile, this feature is also available on kiosk, and so on. So we are always taking this approach of meeting where employees are when we are designing our capabilities. Now, one more quick context, and this is a critical one to know. Any of our releases, all of our capabilities are actually store products. What that means is that we have quarterly releases. These green circles that you see are our actual releases. And then these releases true up with the family release. And the family release picks up the store release, which was made before. But what we consider as a family release is the store release before and after the big blue circle here. So as part of Xanadu, if you upgrade to Xanadu, you would get the May capabilities that we have released on your own. But the August release, you would have to download or install or update separately. And this is just for the Employee Center Store apps. The advantage of being in this model is that our releases are N-2 compatible with family. So what that means is that August release, the things that we will talk about and have tagged as August, are actually compatible till Vancouver. So even if you're not upgrading to Xanadu today, the capabilities that I will talk about are available to you and you can go back to your organization and download it like this week and start making use of them. There would be a couple of capabilities which are dependent on the family, and we will call them out throughout the slide. Now, as we go ahead, we will We will dive deep into new capabilities as well as enhancements, but I want to start with new capabilities. So I'm super excited to talk about three new key capabilities that we are launching with Xanadu. These are brand new capabilities which did not exist in past. First and foremost, and this is the biggest one, is a kiosk-based experience for deskless employees. Many organizations that are on the call today have employees who are not really sitting in front of a laptop all the time to get their work done. They're either on the move, they are in a factory floor or in a retail shop floor, moving around, helping people. They have like 5 to 10 minutes of breaks in which they can potentially, go make a request, and they need a quick and easy way to do that. So kiosk experience is an experience that we have designed for these use cases, again, meeting where these employees are and providing them a channel that is suitable for them. As part of this, we've also built two capabilities which are not just available in kiosk, but also available in portal. These are guided self-service experiences and also sending information to myself, or I as a user can send information to myself via SMS or email. So let's dive deep, and we will also do a demo on this. So let's first talk about the deskless workers and why we built the kiosk experience. Now, if you would think about deskless workers today, and this is based on our research with many of the organizations that we work with, we found siloed and disconnected support departments that were serving them. There were organizations that are trying to build tools, but then they continue to see low tool adoption, and that is often because there is a growing skills gap between them. um, because of these two challenges, there is a slow turnaround to employee requests, which leads to bad experience for the employee. At the same time, the employee, the deskless worker, does not really have a way to connect with the organization. They often don't have a company provided device. They're reluctant to download company apps on their phone, or the process of downloading it is way too long, and it gets stalled at some point in the middle, or they're relying on their managers or manual processes, limited communication. So overall, the experience is really bad for a person who is, quote unquote, unquote, deskless worker, and thus they are frustrated. So our vision is to serve them. And for that, what we have built is a mobile responsive kiosk experience. And this is specifically designed for employees who are reluctant to download a company app to their personal device. So if you are dealing with a set of deskless workers that are open to download a company app, and that's the approach that you want to take, that option is also available. But this one is designed specifically for those and who are reluctant to download a company app, do not have a personal device, and but the organization still needs a way to serve them. And this kiosk based experience, which could be either on an actual kiosk, or an iPad that is circulating, a shared laptop or device, computer that is sitting in the break room, or even just made mobile responsive on their personal devices. So they don't have to download an app, but they can actually view it on browser of their screen. And you would see that we have a complete experience designed for a kiosk experience like this, focusing on specific use cases that are most relevant and most frequently used by these users. And it includes some of the important things like personalized communications, being able to capture feedback. So you will see all of that come across when you will dive deeper into the demo. Couple of things I want to call out. The homepage is specifically designed to be touch friendly and is far more simplified than what you would see from the full portal experience, which is on the Employee Center and Employee Center Pro side. Technically, this is a separate portal. So just to clarify questions on those, it's not that we are providing two versions of the same portal. So it's not like that. It's a separate portal that is built for the kiosk experience. There are topic pages associated with the homepage, but these topic pages are also simplified to make them more touch friendly. We've also built immersive experiences for the key use cases, which is help me understand my shift schedule. help me understand my time off balance. And as you would see, we plan to enhance these experiences in future to make them further actionable. So I can actually request a shift change directly from this portal, and also request for additional time off directly from this portal without having to go through my manager. Now, both these experiences, the data is actually retrieved from Kronos, UKG Kronos, and we have built a pre-built integration, which will be also available for you as part of your HRSD Pro or Enterprise licenses. So essentially, the data is not being stored in ServiceNow. It's through an integration with another system. And you can extend, and if you're not using Kronos, you could use any other system. We also have what we call guided self-service experiences, which is essentially a touch-friendly Q&A based experience for certain complex use cases, which often leads to a user exploring or looking into a long knowledge article to get to the solution, that answer that they're looking for, or even looking into multiple different catalog items then they have to choose from. Instead of like having the user choose, this Q&A based experience actually asks you a set of questions and then tells you this is what you need to fill. So it's a lot faster and easier way for an end user, especially those who are time pressed and working out of a shared device, which, you know, someone might be just behind you to like access another session of those. These are super useful. A quick note here, they are dependent on the family. This particular release is dependent on Xanadu. There's a deep admin experience. I'm not going to go into it, but just wanted to call out that you can actually have these guided experiences available for a given set of users. So you can target it at a given user. So we recommend that you target it for users who you are seeing low adoption of the tool, who are not ready to use conversational experiences like VA, virtual agent. So you target this experience for those users. And then this has a whole playbook designer and a playbook designer behind it to help you create really good experiences. And this is the third new capability that I was talking about, send information to myself. We actually want to make it easy for an employee on the move to be able to just send the information to a more convenient spot where they're like traveling, you know, like on the move, and they want to read. For example, there's a long article that I don't have the time right now. Maybe I can just send it as an SMS or an email to me, and then I can, like, you know, read it whenever I'm available on the bus or in the car, and I can review it. I want to have my schedule available to me when I'm not at work. I'm at Kiosk right now, but I don't have a phone to take a picture of this. So I still want to see it so that I can discuss it with my family back at home or whatever. So you should be able to send the schedule as SMS or email. So that is what this is designed for. It's available with Employee Center. So this one does not have any license tied with it. So just want to call that out. So if you have Employee Center today, don't have Employee Center Pro, this capability is available to you, and also the guided self-service. So the guided self-service that I was talking about here is also Employee Center. The full kiosk experience is actually Employee Center Pro. So just wanted to call that out. Okay, with that, let's just dive deep into and showcase what this kiosk experience and these capabilities look like. Smriti, over to you for that.
Thank you so much, Pooja. Um, just let me share my desktop. Very warm welcome to everyone joining this call. I see a lot of questions in the Q&A panel. Please keep the engagement coming. Really love it. So I hope everything okay with the screen share here, Pooja?
Yes, we can see it. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you for setting that context with respect to kiosk and guided self-service. I'll just get us started. This kiosk experience is specially designed for organizations across industries such as manufacturing, healthcare, or retail, who actually struggle to provide a seamless employee experience to their deskless workforce. These workers, who are often the backbone of a company's operations, face challenges due to the mobile nature of their work, and they often rely on their supervisors or HR to kind of manage their work schedule, or in case they need access to some essential information. So let us consider a scenario where James, a machine technician, is with one of the manufacturing firms as a deskless worker. His organization has recently deployed a kiosk experience for him. And unlike office employees, his job requires him to be always on the move, fixing machines and ensuring smooth operations on the factory floor. So whether James is using a kiosk terminal or a mobile app, the kiosk portal enables a very simplified homepage optimized for touch interactions. So as you can see, this kiosk portal homepage is not too dense with information, unlike the Employee Center portal, and prioritizes what matters most to James. He can view the important company communication up front. So this is the communication banner on the top that displays important company communication. It could be any of the FYIs, such as upcoming holidays or upcoming events planned in the organization, or even any of the actionable communications, such as review your health and safety benefits. Once I click here, I can be redirected to one of the knowledge articles and read through all my benefits here. All right. So next we have the Shift widget here. The kiosk portal has a pre-built out-of-the-box integration with Kronos, which is a workforce management system. And James could view his upcoming shift here and dive deeper into the work schedule for the day or the week or even the month here, including all the holidays and time offs, right? And he can even email or email the schedule or send the schedule to himself via SMS, right? Then please be mindful that this instance is displaying out of the possible here and may not necessarily highlight out of the box functionalities. So just like the swap shift functionality here, it's not available out of the box. It is something, it's a use case that we have developed specifically for this demo. So probably James could swap his shift with one of his other co-workers, right? Moving on.
Just to clarify, the Swift shop is coming from a roadmap perspective. Request PTO and Swift swap shift option is both coming in roadmap.
Awesome. So with respect to time off, this widget eliminates the need for manual data entry and ensures employees have access to the most up-to-date information about their paid time off. Again, it seamlessly pulls PTO information directly from the Kronos as well. You could, however, build custom integrations with other existing HR systems like Workday, SAP, Oracle, or any other system to display this information. And James can see his time of balance. And once he clicks on this to kind of see the details here, he can select any of the calendar period and kind of see his time of request or the available time of balance of as of date of that particular calendar date, right? Moving back to the homepage, on the right hand side, you can see the Get Support widget, which gives James easy access to all the important self-service content, such as ask HR questions, or check my paycheck, or report a health and safety incident. So ask HR questions. So all of these links, the organizations can configure it as per their use case. These are pretty similar to the quick links. And for example, the ask HR question, it's an out of the box catalog item that allows employees to submit queries or seek assistance from the HR department. And then another one we have is report health and safety incident, which is again a catalog item available via health and safety incident management plugin. And it allows employees to report any of the health and safety incidents or concerns. So, for example, if James has seen another co-worker into an accident because there's water on the floor, he can quickly go on and report this incident as floor prone to slip. Sorry, some issues here. But you get the idea. He can go ahead and report this incident as floor prone to slip, and then the relevant authorities can actually take this action and close his request. So whatever request James has just raised, he can see that request either via the My Request page that's available via top menu item here, or he can also see all his requests on the home page under this My Request item. So you can see all his previous request here. Again, James can also mark his frequently used content as favorites and directly access them on the homepage via the favorites widget here. This is very similar to the Employee Center portal. Then again, in case he wants to provide feedback on the experience that he's seeing on the kiosk portal, he can provide his feedback here. And this the admin can configure it to be a simple feedback rating question or even any of the surveys. Right, and this drawer widget can be configured or any of the other kiosk or portal pages as well. So on the center, you can see a browse help content widget. So we have also enabled the unified taxonomy for the kiosk experience. So here's a new simplified taxonomy structure available out of the box that is intended to only have targeted topics available via this widget on the homepage. Suppose James is looking for help content around benefits. He can simply click on this benefits topic and be redirected to the topic page experience for benefits, which is again a very simplified version. This simplified topic page template is focused on providing an efficient small screen and touch friendly interface that displays subtopics here on the top and support resources tagged to this topic here. So James can see all the knowledge articles or catalog items related to benefits here. And let's suppose he's reading a knowledge article here. So that's a pretty dense knowledge article here, and James would like to review it later. Right, so he can just click on this email to myself and send it this article to himself for later reference. Right. Then we also have enabled the guided self-service experience for the kiosk portal, and the guided self-service experience is also available for the Employee Center portal, both pro and standard. So this actually provides a visual Q&A based self-service experience for complex topics such as benefits or time off or any of the other use cases that your organization is looking to implement. Suppose James is looking for additional information around his 401k benefits. So he can simply click on this Know Your Benefits guided topic, and he'll be guided by a series of question and answer to the right catalog item. So he can simply click on checking my existing benefits because he would like to raise a question regarding his existing benefits. Then it asks which benefits do you have a question about. I have a question, or James has a question about 401k plan. um, he can simply see the catalog item here and post his request or inquiry directly. He does not have to dig through tons of resources around this topic. Again, on the back end, I'll just quickly show the guided self-service table where you can configure the topic. So out of the box, we have two topics available: time of request and know your benefits. So for example, for time of request, you can define who is this topic available for, not available for, or even assign this topic to any of the taxonomy topics. And you can kind of define for which portal or which taxonomy is this available. So I define this topic or map this topic to employee kiosk taxonomy as well as the employee portal taxonomy, right? And in case I would like to edit any of the flows or add any of the other decision trees, I can do that in the process automation designer here. Just a second for it to load. Awesome. So this is the complete decision tree, and you can add your triggers, your decisions, and then finally any of the resources, whether it's a knowledge article or a catalog item here. So that's all for the kiosk and guided self-service demo. Back over to you, Pooja.
Thank you so much, Smriti. And as you can see, there's a lot that you can already do, but I just want to also share that, what you saw was what we have delivered out of box. It's built on the service portal tech stack, so you can bring in additional capabilities that you think are relevant um, from the actual other portals like Employee Center and Employee Center Pro, and bring them to Kiosk. All right. So that was all about Kiosk. Let's talk about other cool enhancements that are coming in Xanadu. So if you are an Employee Center Pro customer, I'm hoping that you are leveraging our employee communications capabilities and also our feedback. So this feedback is like the provide feedback button that you must have noticed on the kiosk. We have a much deeper feedback capability available with Employee Center Pro. We have made a ton of enhancements in both these areas. So let's start with communications and talk about what enhancements we have made on communications. Um, so First and foremost, I want to talk about social engagement. So many of the organizations who are actually deploying or using Employee Center Pro as an intranet, they have been looking for how we can drive more engagement with our content. Authors who are building news articles, they want to know if their news articles how are they landing? Are they driving the excitement or engagement that they meant to drive? So what we have now started focusing on making the experience a lot more social. And we started this social engagement with the news functionality. So as of today, you do have the ability to enable end users or employees to comment, to reply on a comment, to like, or like you can also configure multiple other reactions that you want to enable. They can also see the number of views. And all of this information is actually available as analytics for the news authors and managers to see engagement and track engagement on news. If there are things that an employee or even an admin sees to be inappropriate, they can flag that comment or article. The admins can actually say, we don't want to enable comments anymore, we want to disable them because like maybe it is not driving the kind of engagement we wanted. They have that option, so there's a lot of controls that we have built in the backend as well. You will see a demo for this that will dive deeper, but very excited about this, and I've heard really good feedback from customers who have already reviewed this. Second, and another cool feature or enhancement that we have made is we have built what we call content operations modules or content analytics. So it actually comes with 3 different dashboards that we have now built. And this is apart from, the additional analytics that we have built, like the news analytics that I was talking about. First one is operations dashboard. You as a content manager and a content owner want to know what are, like, I want a quick view of all the content that I own. I want to be able to review what content requests I have received, which of my content is part of a campaign, and that operations dashboard actually gives that visibility in a snapshot. As a content author, I can also directly initiate a the the start of a new content that I want to create from this operations dashboard. So essentially, this dashboard becomes my workstation or workspace from an authoring or an owner of like communications content perspective. And this is not just news, it is all the content that is actually managed under content publishing. You can manage all of that through the operations dashboard. The second one that we have is what we call operation ownership metrics. So, as you are probably familiar, you can define content authorship ownership at the level of audiences, at the level of pages, at the level of type of content, even topics that you can post to. This ownership metrics actually shows based on the types of content, based on pages, who owns what. So it suddenly builds like a lot more clarity, and all of this thing was maintained multiple different tables, and it was very hard to know who owns what. But this ownership metrics actually puts it right in front of you. So if you want to make a change to a page, you want to trigger an approval, or you want to like just go talk to that person, and this is not what we want it to be, you can see that ownership right here. Third, as a content author, I also want to know with how much communication is going out on a given date to end users. Um, the publishing calendar is designed to showcase that. So up till now, it was very difficult to know like whether we are actually inundating an end user with like a ton of communications, and is actually losing the purpose that communications have because they are not able to pay attention to them. This publishing calendar will help the authors spread out their communications so that it is actually providing visibility on how much they are communicating, and as a result the authors will have the ability to easily spread out their communication based on the information they're seeing on the publishing calendar. So we are very proud of these enhancements, and we do think this will really help managing communication content simpler and easier on Employee Center Pro. What we have not showcased here is analytics, but then we do have deep analytics, which would again help not just from like news, but now you can review page views and different engagement metrics for all of your communication content. So anything that is published in content publishing, you can have analytics for those. Another key enhancements, again, something which we have heard so many of our customers ask for and be excited about, is that we have now enabled front end or like portal, we call them portal shortcuts, directly from for an author to edit microsites directly from the portal. So if I'm an author and I go on a microsite or a topic page that I have edit rights to, I can enable the author view and actually just see that, hey, there is no content posted here, and I can just directly add new content. If you would see the screenshot on the top left corner, you would see a blank space and the ability to just add content directly from there. Now you don't have to go back in the back end, start from the usual ServiceNow backend view and then navigate to content library, because you can just be on the portal view and do this. So this is really helpful for content authors who are not accustomed to working in a ServiceNow environment. So they care about the portal, and they can always start from the portal to add new content or to update new content. Now, this is again something that we are taking a step-by-step approach. We have built this for microsites. In future, we will enable this for a lot more other communications that we have on the portal. Next cool enhancements with communications is what we call reusable news templates. We Without a template, it was often that every news article had to be started from scratch. You could potentially copy paste it and keep, but then there was no process that was made to actually simplify the reuse of a template or an article that you have made. So now we have something what we call reusable news templates, and you can very easily save them and apply them to a new article that you're writing. So you already have the formatting that needs to be done. All you need to do is change the text or maybe change the image to like create a brand new article. Really simplify the content creation time. And this will also again be helpful for content authors who are not yet accustomed to our authoring system, which is the rich content editor. So the training time and the ramp up time that these authors would take to start building content will be dramatically decreased with this new template. And like I said, it's very easy. You just, these are the steps. We probably won't have time to demo this. So I just want to showcase what this would look like. You would clone the article that you're working as a reusable content. It would create a new template record. And from there, when you want to apply it, you actually have a direct option, a clickable option in your authoring view to just say, I want to use a content template and pick up the template that you want to use. So it's extremely simple and intuitive to use. All right. Before we go into the demo, I just want to quickly highlight what enhancements we have made from the feedback perspective, and then we will demo both of these together before we wrap up. So you may be familiar, like in the beginning of this year, we came up with this whole workflow to capture in the moment feedback, both from the experiences that you're creating and also services that you're delivering. So many of you on the call here are investing a lot of time to design the portal, what the homepage should be, what the knowledge page should be, what a topic page should look like. And it's very difficult to capture in the moment feedback on that. So you now have abilities to actually place widgets which are targeted to our page and capture in the moment feedback from users. And similarly, from a service perspective, you can actually have feedback questions that are triggered at different times of the service delivery journey. So for example, right after a request is placed or after it has reached a certain level, you can trigger feedback. And this feedback is like designed to be omni-channel. So you see that feedback on your email notification, you see it on the portal. And once you have answered the feedback in any of these places, the request goes away from all the places. So it's designed to be a very seamless experience. Since then, as part of Xanadu, which is May and August, we have added the ability to conduct surveys as part of this feedback capturing. So what you are seeing here on the screen right now is the ability to conduct surveys with the experience feedback. So the same drawer widget, which actually had I like something, I don't like something, can actually be a full-fledged survey that you conduct. So like, like a lot of people like to conduct NPS surveys and a lot more like satisfaction surveys. You could have that as part of your drawer widget. And then it comes with configurable page intercepts that you could use for triggering the modal. You could have the users can say, I don't want to answer it right now. I can, like this is, so there are a lot of controls that we have enabled, both from an admin as well as the user perspective to mitigate feedback fatigue. And then this is now connected with user experience analytics to capture like the effectiveness of the feedback that you are collecting. This is what it would look like in terms of a service feedback. So service feedback, again, it opens as a modal window. And if you have existing surveys that you have built on ServiceNow, you could use the same surveys and position it with this widget that we have on the portal. And from an email standpoint, it is actually helping you save, like, if you have the survey as an automated thing coming after every service request, you can actually just integrate it with portal. And now instead of having two emails, it'll be one email with the notification from the portal as well as the survey. And same trigger points, the controls for the users are also available here. Next, oh yeah, this is what it would look like if you would do it via email. So just wanted to showcase, and the email piece requires you to have the Outlook actionable messages plugin, and is out of box is designed to work with the Microsoft Outlook functionality only. All right. The next one we have, I mentioned that, we are thinking and when we consider our capabilities omni-channel. So we have extended the experience feedback to both mobile platform as well as virtual agent. So you can again, like, in a similar fashion as you would do it on portal, you can capture experience feedback both on mobile, the now mobile application out of box, as well as the virtual agent. Similarly, for service feedback, you can see the experiences on the screen. Again, you will have trigger points on when you want this survey to be kick-started. With virtual agent, it is at the end of the conversation because it will be disruptive to do it in the middle of the conversation. With the mobile, you can actually have like right after a submit, the request is submitted or at a given trigger point. All right. Let's dive into the enhancements both from the comms and the feedback perspective and do a demo for that. Smriti, over to you for that.
Sure, Pooja. Well, I hope my screen is visible.
Yep, all good. Let's go ahead.
Awesome. So let's start with the employee social engagement with news capability. So we have introduced a content engagement plugin to kind of enhance the employee interactions with the company news. And this kind of allows employees to engage with the news content by means of likes and comments. And from the admin point of view, they can control the engagement settings and maintain a respectful environment by moderating content and comments. Right. And we have the analytics in place to kind of track the engagement that we have been getting from the news articles. So that was a summary or gist of what all we have released till now for this particular capability. Let's dive deep. So this is a news article that I already have published here, right? And on top, I can see a summary widget that highlights the summary of comments, reactions, and views received on this article. Once I scroll and read through this article, on the bottom, I can see the um, uh, reactions widget here. So I can react to this article. I can either put any of my reactions here or put any of the comments. Again, all of these reactions, up to 6 reactions, can be configured by the admins here. So it could be any of the font awesome icons that's available out of the box, or just like I have added these SVG icons, I can even add any of the icons here to kind of make it more engaging and configure this icons as per my organizational use case, right? So I can change it to any of the other things like help or any other reactions. Moving on to the comments. So I can see, I can add any of the comments, awesome article here, or I can post a reply to any of the existing comments, right? Then I can see all the comments, I can view the replies, I can even reply to a reply. And once I do that, I can see the name populated. That means I'm replying to this particular person, right? And as an admin or as a moderator, I can actually moderate and keep this environment very mindful and respectful. So if any of the comment is very irrelevant, like I can see this is a very irrelevant, not adding value, I can either, as an admin, delete this comment directly, or if I am just another user without admin rights, I can report this comment as well. So once I click on this report, I'm going to fill out why I am reporting this and submit this, right? If I see as a end user that the article is probably having some typing errors or it needs to be reported, I can report this article and kind of mention my reason why I am reporting this article. And this survey here for reporting this article, you can configure your own questions. So you can add your survey by means of sys here. That's completely configurable, right? And on the back end, like I've already mentioned, these comments and reactions can be enabled or disabled on the article level or even on the content template level. So suppose I've opened up this article view here. I can enable or disable these comments, reactions, and views, save, and all of my previous history of comments remains as it is, but then I won't be able to add any new comments here. So you can see the previous comment history stays as it is, but the comment, adding the comment has been disabled, right? And for the analytics of this particular article, I can click on this view analytics. Sorry, this is a demo instance. I don't have a very beautiful analytics data here, but you get the gist. You can see the trend for this news article, the total engagement on this news article, and the views, both unique and total views here, right? Moving on to the next very interesting capability, content operations dashboard. So over the period of time, we have kind of received a lot of feedback from the customers that the content library view is kind of very dense or very populated for all the content managers to kind of work together in parallel. And they would like to provide more insights into the workflow stages or the recent activity or the publishing schedules to their content admins and managers. So we have kind of come up with this content operations dashboard here. To summarize, it allows the admins to kind of navigate and organize their content library um, under this very organized tab. So all of my active content I can see here, active content that's owned by me, I can see here. And I have the visibility into all of the process of finding the content at any of these stages of the workflow. So as a content admin, I can access instant insights into the content lifecycle that shows when a content is expiring or when a campaign is about to be published, or if I have any of the content requests via the content governance flow here. So let's just deep dive. Uh, the first tab here is the My Content tab, and I can see as the logged in user what all content I have been working with. So what is the content type, whether it's active or not, when was it last updated, and so on. I can navigate all the content available to me here. And then we have these tiles over here that kind of shows at what workflow stage my content is. So I have one of the content that's ready to be published, that's going to be published next week. So I have that marked here. Or if a content is about to expire within next 7 days, similar data for campaigns to be published or campaigns about to be expired, right? I can click on any of these tiles and view the exact content that's about to be published or about to retire from here. And then for the content request, any of the content request that comes up via the content governance flow, I can see that request here, kind of dive deeper into what that request is and take actions accordingly, right? So next is the publishing calendar. So publishing calendar actually streamlines content planning and provides a very dedicated tool for the communication leaders and content managers. You can see a very beautiful color coded calendar view that displays the scheduled content within specified time frames. And we have a lot of filtering options here. So as you can see, I have the channel type selected. I may want to kind of just focus on the news content for now, or even the mobile content, and I can just select that from the drop down. So it will just display all the news content or all the mobile content here. And then I can select for which page I would like to see that. So for example, I just want to focus on the home page, right? So I can select that from the navigation, select the instance or the widget that I would like to select. And I can kind of select for what time frame do I want to see that. Suppose I'm looking for just the work week, then I have this everything highlighted here for the work or the month, right? Let me just go back to the news center. So you can see to kind of manage the overflow here, I have highlighted two more. So I can just click on the particular date, view all of my content. And if in case I would like to manage that content, I can directly click on this and manage that content from here. So it's a very easy or seamless workspace, like this whole area. And you can kind of manage all your campaigns and request here. So the main aim is to kind of reduce overwhelming or avoid overwhelming the end users with too much data. Then we have the ownership tab here, right? um, it actually allows communication teams to see a clear or clear ownership of and the accountability of the data. So I can see what content is owned by which user. So this is very important for very specific content, or the content that you would like to kind of restrict with other content managers, right? There are some pieces of content that you would like to restrict until it's published. So you can kind of do that. You can highlight the user that's owning that content or user that's owning that page, and you can have a bird's eye view of all your content ownerships here. You can allow users to own any particular taxonomy topic, or you could even define the ownership at the audience level, right? If I click on any of this new, I can add any of the new users, or even pass on the ownership from one user to another, right? So very quickly moving on to the,
Smriti,
yeah,
let's skip the feedback and we can demo that later on, just in the interest of time.
sure.
Okay, awesome. Thank you, everyone. The recording will be available. We just want to be mindful of your time and close that the slide gives you a summary of all the new capabilities that we have shipped. If you're looking for additional details, we have much more deeper details in the two release blogs that are available on community. So we have the quick links here, but you will have the slides and you can get to it. Then just another thing, today is not the last time you're hearing from us. We have office hours. If you're interested in feedback capabilities, you want to learn more, we have an office hour coming for that. If you're interested in Kiosk, we have an office hour coming for that, and they're both in October. We also have deeper office hours for deployment or communication. So please make use of these. These are less us speaking and your opportunity to ask questions. And last but not the least, we want to share our roadmap ahead. So we next week we are actually presenting what is coming in November. So I highly recommend you to attend these. If you're not able to find these links, you're struggling to just take a note of the email uex.products.events@servicenow.com. We will help you to make sure you are registered. With that, thank you so much. Have a good rest of your day, and I'll leave this slide on so you can take the email address. Thank you, and see you again in the next event.